Why is it sometimes the end of the world when we just ask our kids to clean up? Okay, so we have 2 kids, as you guys might know. One is pretty good at tidying up and keeping the house clean and helping out and things, and the other not so good. We have to kind of herd them like a little sheep and really encourage and make it fun and things like that. So I thought I would talk about that today because I feel like so many parents, you know, they have those moments where your kids roll your eyes when you ask them just to stack the dishwasher, or they give you like a grunt or a huff when you're like, can you just, you know, tidy up the lounge room or put your books away or whatever it is. Or maybe you have a child who actually just flat out ignores you, and that can be so triggering. Oh, like I can feel it in my chest when I think about that. So number 1, you are not alone. I feel like I say this in all of my episodes and videos on the podcast and on YouTube. Please know that these are like so relatable because they're universal. Okay, so you're not the only one. I don't know if that helps you makes you feel any better, but it definitely does for me, thinking, okay, like this is how parenting is. There are some challenges and there are some bumps. Like it's not supposed to be a walk in the park. Anyway, so I want to talk about why emotional intelligence comes in as an absolute game changer when you feel like you're ready to explode over the mess or flip your lid because your child has just ignored you for the 3rd time when you've asked them to put something away. The thing is, your kids are not going to magically love cleaning up every single time you ask. So what are you left with? The way that you respond or react in that moment, that alone has the power to absolutely redirect how the rest of the situation plays out. And it happens in a heartbeat, let me tell you. I think we need to think about like, why is this so triggering for us as parents? I talked about basically it being a universal struggle for a lot of us. I definitely had this sense in my house that I was like, this is like our house, like me and dad's, like we paid for it and we need to keep it tidy. This is us as the parents and the leaders, and I'm the parent and I want it this way. It's my way or the highway. The thing is, it's not just about the mess. I know that the clutter and the mess can be definitely overwhelming. I know visual clutter can be sort of just, it clutters our senses and our mind. And I know sometimes when things are too messy, I just can't get anything done. But on top of that, it can feel like disrespect or outright defiance or even laziness. So I think those are some of the like undercurrent kind of feelings and beliefs that we have, which cause us to be so triggered when our kids won't tidy up. Emotional intelligence means you're able to recognize your triggers in the moment. This sense of urgency, the tension, the frustration, you're able to recognize that and then actually make a better decision in the moment. You can ask yourself something like, am I reacting out of stress or am I responding intentionally here? I have to put a big disclaimer in here, like a big notice about rewards and rewards charts, because this is still, it's so common in our society, I think, and in many communities, even in schools, and especially online. Man, on social media, people are all for rewards charts. Okay, let me tell you briefly why I do not ever recommend rewards charts in people's homes. Rewards make tidying up transactional. If you do this thing, then you will get that thing. When really what we want to do is instill this deeper, meaningful, like these values in our kids of we're a team, and because we all live here, we all pitch in and we all help out. It's everyone's responsibility. And it feels good, or it feels better when things are tidier. We can find our toys and stuff like that, rather than I only want you, or I'm only teaching you that you need to clean up in order to get this like carrot that I'm dangling. On the flip side of that, punishment, like when we punish our kids and when we don't give them a sticker or a star for their reward chart because they're not cleaning up, that kind of punishment creates shame and it creates resistance. And we know there's a lot of research that supports when people are punished or shamed, they engage in that behavior even more. So it's never inspiring, and it's actually not teaching our kids why we need to all pitch in and help out and keep the place tidy. So emotionally intelligent parenting really is around helping our child to sort of build that internal responsibility, not just follow orders. Natural consequences are way more powerful, and we did this and we do this still with both of our kids. I say to them things like, when the clothes don't get washed, then you don't have them clean and smelling fresh, ready for the next time you want to wear them out with your friends. Or like same thing with their school uniform. Or if you don't put your shoes on the shoe rack, which happens a lot at our house, then next time we go out, you're going to be frantically running around not knowing where they are. They could be outside, they could be under the computer table, they could be near the TV. So this is why we do things to make life easier. Natural consequences are way more powerful, they are way more respectful, and they build that internal compass. This is why I do these things, because it makes sense to me and I get better outcomes. It feels good. Okay, so let's talk about younger kids and then older kids and some ideas, some ways, some strategies that are of course underpinned by emotional intelligence and respect and, you know, that compassionate lens of my kids have an under construction brain, so they're not meant to have this really mature mindset and outlook on keeping things tidy so that we can find them next time. Like that stuff is coming, but still our kids are very much in that egocentric kind of mindset. So they need some support and some reminders and some strategies. Okay, so for younger kids, my kind of overarching, like the umbrella theme I want to say is make, clean up, engaging. Please pick your time with when you're asking kids to tidy up. Don't ask them when you immediately see like a mess all over the rug in the lounge room and they're in the middle of a Bluey episode. Not the right time. So I always think, okay, let's look at timing. Let's look at what activity they did. Imagine coming into a room and you are triggered because there's mess or something spilt. Once we had slime on a rug. Oh my God, that was a rookie error. I don't know why we ever agreed to having slime. And imagine coming in and being so triggered, like your tone sets the mood. It's almost like contagious. We're going to get our child to be reactive when we have this reactive, angry energy. Turn it into a game. Something like, can you beat the timer? Or I'm going to count to 10. We're a team. Let's see if we can beat the clock. Or I'm going to hold the basket. See if you can throw your stuffed toys in to get some points. I also always think we should join in and share the load, especially for little kids. But actually I do it for my kids who are a little bit older now. They're 8 and 10. And I'm like, I do it for them too, because it's always fun doing something with someone else. So keep it short, keep it playful, keep it consistent if you can. Maybe Saturday mornings is like the big cleanup for everyone and we put music on. You know, your tone sets the mood and how you feel about it is really going to impact the situation. Okay, let's move on to older kids now. My umbrella, my overarching message here is, a little bit different. It's still about engaging and being fun, but also it's problem solving instead of punishing. So it can be very frustrating when our older kids who we feel like they know better are not keeping a tidy space or not following our instructions, not meeting the expectations of the house, you know what I mean. I absolutely love Dr. Ross Green and his work around finding out what's getting in the way when a child or a teen isn't meeting the expectation or isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I would say things, my youngest had what we call a floordrobe. Clothes all over the floor, and like I couldn't even walk to her bed. And it was very frustrating because I'm a tidy kind of person. And so what I said to her one day was, you know what, honey, I've noticed that something's getting in the way of you hanging up your clothes into your wardrobe. We actually noticed, I don't know why I didn't realize this earlier, that we had built in like some shelves, some drawers, and then a shelf, and then like a hanging rack, which was probably my height. So it always has been difficult for her, and we got her a little stool, which really helped. But on that day, she said, I don't know, it's just hard to know, like it's hard to sort them all out and there's too many and things like that. So we brainstormed this idea, like for ideas, and we came up with very simple, maybe you guys are going to laugh at me, but it's having a little basket that was actually sitting in the laundry that we had just not used for years. I literally had to like blow the dust and the cobwebs out. And I was like, how about the green basket that we like never use? You can have that as your basket for your clothes. She was like, yay, I get my own basket. I was like, okay. So that's near her door. And now, most of the time, not all the time, but she just scoops up the clothes that she knows dirty and puts them in, and then they get washed like magic. So I would say brainstorm with your kids. Maybe things like, would sticky notes be helpful for them on different days on a calendar, or would making a little weekly routine or a visual schedule or something like that help? Maybe like a chore pin board that they have like autonomy over, and they get to choose how they set it up and what works for them. Maybe even music. Like I did mention that before. It's always fun to do something. See if you can like do it before the end of the song for younger kids, but just for older ones, like, let's put some music on and make this fun, you know? And little reminders from you as well, rather than like coming in guns blazing, like, you know, this is so frustrating, being like, hey, don't forget, like tomorrow's the day that I need your washing, that kind of thing. I always say, if you can, as much as possible for young and old kids, let them take control, let them give them some choice and control, and give them that autonomy, because they're craving it anyway. And that's often where we see like the push and pull of behavior. See if you can like flip it over to them to bring some ideas to the table. It doesn't mean it's like their responsibility and they have to solve the problem, but you know, that helps get their buy-in so that the ideas and the solutions are actually more likely to be implemented. Okay, so if you find yourself very often triggered, then you are not failing, you just need tools. Mess and resistance and even chaos, like these are all very normal parts of parenting. But if they are sending you into like yelling and into maybe even shutdown mode, that was what I used to do. I would like get frustrated, maybe blow my lid, but then I would like shut down, stonewall, and not talk to my kids for like a couple of hours because I was so fuming. Like this is a sign that our nervous systems need support and we need more tools, because we're kind of out of our tools in our toolkit. So this is why I created my courses. This is why one in particular, it's called From Reactive to Responsive Parenting. This is the one I love, and this is the one that parents rave about and they get so much out of. It's just like online, self-paced, do it your own time kind of thing. And it steps you through what to do, how to recognize your triggers, how to move out of that snappy, shouty into that more calm, responsive, problem-solving habit. It can absolutely be done. Usually it's $97, but I want to gift it to you for a huge discount down to $17. So I'm going to put like all the information, the link and the code and everything in the show notes and in the YouTube description so you can go find it. But I promise you, this is what's going to really help you to take that next step to be more calm, more in control, and more confident as a parent. If you guys found this helpful, I would love if you could hit subscribe if you are watching along on YouTube. I have tons of videos, especially this month of May. I'm doing a video basically every second day, which is huge, and almost the same on the podcast as well. If you're listening on the podcast, hello, and thank you for letting me be in your ears. If you like to watch and see my like goofiness and craziness and stuff like that, then come on over to YouTube, because that's where I'm putting all my content and a lot more nowadays as well. I just love it, and I love reaching out to you guys and helping and giving you support and tips and ideas. So huge thank you for me. Again, you do not have to be perfect, but definitely know there are tools out there. There is so much support, and there are so many things that they just do not teach us this in school about how to manage ourselves, manage our behavior and our emotions, and it frustrates me. So that's why I love doing what I do. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.